In a culture that is putting more value on things, selling shoes for the price of a new car, buying outfits for thousands of dollars to impress people we don't know, and buying a new phone every year, the problem is not necessarily that people are buying these things, but it's the way in which they're purchasing them.
Phone sales globally are flat or falling.
Samsung now anticipating dismal fourth quarter profits.
Smartphone sales declining.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, mainly due to their outstanding debt. When you walk into a retail phone store, the first thing you'll see is a sign that says $0 down plus tax, get you a brand new iPhone or a brand new Note 10. Or you walk into your local Best Buy and see a sign that says no interest for 18 months when you sign up for a credit card. The idea that you can buy something today and pay for it tomorrow. This is not an inherently new idea. Debt has been around since the early 1500s and even before that. But in the last several years, as people move to shopping online as opposed to purchasing in store, retail stores have to get a little bit more clever. And one of the ways that they've done that is by pushing their credit card programs more and more, offering no interest for 6, 12, or even 18 months. And you can walk home with a $4,000 refrigerator that you couldn't purchase with the money in your account today, but in the next 18 months you could pay off in small $222 payments. But this is inherently the problem. The most obvious problem is not that you're buying now and paying later. That's an issue, obviously. And if you don't pay off the credit card within the allotted time, then you will be paying interest, which on most of these credit cards is high, nearing almost 30% APR on the average credit card. And that interest accrues from the purchase date, which means if you do not pay off the loan in time, you will be paying the interest that you accrued from the beginning of the purchase when you first open the credit card. Whether you have most of it paid off or not, you'll still have to pay that interest payment. But I believe the biggest problem is that you are far more likely to spend almost 20% more when you use a credit card. In a study done by Dun & Bradstreet, consumers on average spend 12 to 18% more when they use a credit card as opposed to cash. McDonald's says that the average purchase with a card is $7 and the average purchase with cash is $4.50. This is not a new idea. When people hand over physical cash, the idea is that it hurts a little bit more. It's like, I can see the money coming out of my account, whereas when you use a credit card, you use a debit card, it's digital, so you don't really get affected by it until your statement comes in later that week or later that month. These companies that push these credit cards onto their consumers are not doing it to help you out. They don't want you to buy that new refrigerator because, oh, you need a new refrigerator. They want you to buy the most expensive refrigerator because it makes them the most amount of money. Why sell you a $1,000 refrigerator today when they could sell you a $4,000 refrigerator and you pay for it tomorrow, and you are buying it with a credit card? And they know that if they get you into one of those credit cards, you are far more likely to purchase something that's above your means. Something that you couldn't afford today with cash, but that you could afford tomorrow with payments. Why spend $1,000 today on a refrigerator when you could buy a $4,000 refrigerator, open up a credit card, and over the course of 18 months spend $222.22 paying it off each month? It sounds appealing, but assuming that you pay it off accordingly, it is still far more than you could have afforded, which makes the store more money and costs you a lifetime of debt. What I would suggest doing is you would be better off spending $139 on a refrigerator, like a mini fridge, and then when you have the money and you save up the money, going out and buying a modest refrigerator for like $1,000, $800, $700, because a refrigerator, no matter which one you get, it all does the same thing. Same with a phone, same with an iPad, same with a computer. As stated in my last video, social media has made us slaves to comparison, making sure that we choose to impress people over our own well-being. Do not buy that expensive new fridge to show off to friends and family, but buy the cheapest fridge that you possibly can and not go into debt and show off to your friends and family how much better you are than them, how much you know better than them because they're stupid little idiots that use credit cards. Why be a stupid idiot when you could just buy it with cash? Obviously, I'm joking, but you should take pride in the fact that you don't have debt. That is something to be prideful of. And if you have debt now, that's not something to be super embarrassed about. Most people do. But when you have the debt, make sure you're using it in a way that makes sense and you're paying it off as quickly as possible, and not going out and buying the most expensive fridge because you could afford it with the payments of $220 a month over the next 18 months, or you could afford the phone for 2 years for $45 a month. Why not just buy it outright and not spend more than you normally would? Now, I'm not here to say you should never use debt to purchase anything, such as a house or even a car. But when you walk into a retail store and they convince you to get a credit card because, quote, it'll help you with your credit, unquote, all that really means is that you're going to be spending more money than you normally would because it sounds better. Because $1,000 today sounds way worse than $220 for the next 18 months. But when you sit down and think about it, that's a drastic change. You're spending $3,000 more dollars. And I don't believe that people haven't done this before. That's why I bring this example up. It's the same with smartphones and tablets, and again, even computers. When you purchase a smartphone, you don't buy it with cash. Nobody does. When people purchase a smartphone, what they do, they purchase a phone, they pay the tax today, and over the next 24 months, they pay off the phone, which allows them to get a more expensive phone up front because it makes it seem like they're spending less money, when in reality, for the next 24 months, you're in debt to AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, yada, yada, yada. So if you're going to do that, you're going to buy a new phone, buy it with cash. Buy the cheaper one. Get an iPhone XR for $599 brand new, as opposed to going out and purchasing an $1,100 iPhone 11 Pro Max. Because, as stated in 1,000 videos, the differences are almost nothing. Now, I come at you right now thinking like I know all the answers, and what does a 24-year-old know about finance and debt and this and that and this and that? But I do know that the reason you're at that job that you hate right now, or the reason that you are working towards something that you don't love, is because you have debt and you have bills. Why do you have to make $60,000 a year and work 50 hours a week just to pay off your bills, just to pay off your credit card, just to live a lifestyle that you think is good? But you should sit down and really think about what you want your life to be, and not necessarily having the latest phone or having the latest computer, or having the latest tablet. And learn to be happy with last year's good enough, or 2 years ago good enough, because all those things are amazing in 2019. Maybe I don't know that much, but I do know that there are very smart people that I've learned a lot from, and they've written good books that I will list down below. They are Amazon affiliate links, so if you purchase through them, I get a kickback, and it helps keep the sponsorship-free channel sponsorship-free. And if you're one of these 78% of Americans that live paycheck to paycheck, or you're one of the 40% of Americans that has $9,000 in credit card debt, you should really take a look at some of these videos, because it's time to get your finances back on track and learning to be happy with what you have, because I can pretty much guarantee it's good enough. And just remember, retail stores and companies, they're not there to help you. They're there to make money. And if they help you and that's a byproduct of what they do, then great. Thank you for watching. I'm Scott with Techno Eclipse. If you want to join the Discord server, that's good old Pete, somebody who's been a long time watcher of this channel, just set up for us actually. It'll be linked down below, I believe, if I get that figured out. And then you can check out my Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to this channel. That's fine too. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.